Hi, this is Robert McCaw. I'm with the Council on American-Islamic Relations. So we had a survey out in California that found that half of Muslim students were actually, victims of bullying. But one of the interesting facts in it was 29% of those students actually said the bullying was coming from teachers or faculty.
Right.
And in the last several years, we've actually seen the states of Tennessee and Florida enact legislation which would prevent certain types of education about the religion of Islam or other religions in their middle school courses, world religious history courses, which, we find helps, demystify Islam and other religions and, really is kind of a anti-bullying vaccination. Do you see any, pattern of either teacher opposition to teaching about, world history when it comes to the religious aspects, which is part of our world history, or do you encounter also reports of teacher bullying of Sikh students? Just very interesting to see in the parallels.
Right.
Thank you.
Yes.
Yeah. So I would say we have heard that in pockets of teachers, sometimes school safety personnel, not at the same levels. As student bullying. I think one of the biggest challenges on the curriculum side is that, and even on the presentation side, is that schools fear that Sikh parents or advocacy groups like ours want to come into the school and proselytize. Right. And we're not interested in doing that. And I think it's very clear, actually it's not a tenet of our faith. And so we're very clear on how this is a piece of education that fits in the world cultures or the social studies, or in some cases in civic engagement when we talk about the contributions of Sikh Americans to American society. And when we sort of finally get into that frame of discussion, there is no shortage of examples to point to of other faith traditions that are taught quite extensively in the classroom. And so I think it's about having the patience to shift the conversation, and that's both at the local level as well as at the state level. We get that pushback. We kind of keep at it to push through.
So just a quick comment I was going to make. I think the media, the heightened focus and the negative focus on certain religion and certain communities is impacting the teachers themselves too. And personally, I know one kid was told by a teacher that kids like you would end up on street, will never amount to anything. I know personally a professor sending out letters that all that don't believe in the great American system should go home. So definitely there are incidents there. Unfortunately, we are at a level where we are identifying the problems. We need to come together and come with the solutions too.
Sorry, I'll be very quick. I just wanted to add. First, thank you for that California survey. I did cite to that during my comments. It is very wonderful to have. That's probably the most recent study that we have had on American Muslim bullying. And as part of that, I just wanted to add that after we sent out our letter earlier this week to all the state superintendents, some of the responses that we have gotten have been tremendously supportive, and some of those responses have been, we are working to put together a resource to the earlier question about how teachers can talk about welcoming Syrian refugee families into their school environments. They're putting together resources for teachers. And so we're starting to see now superintendents recognizing the issues that are impacting the American Muslim community as well as the Syrian refugee community as well, and putting together those resources. So I just wanted to also say that we have been getting responses and this hunger for information to trickle down into the classrooms from the administrator's perspective, so that way we don't have teacher to student bullying.
5 more minutes, so we'll try to squeeze in whatever we can. Go ahead.
Hi, thank you so much for organizing this panel. My name is Zainab Chaudhry, and I work with the Council on American-Islamic Relations as well. And my question actually ties in a little bit to my colleague Robert's in the sense that I work in the state of Maryland, and I do a lot of outreach to Muslim communities across the state, not just Muslim communities, but broader interfaith communities. And in terms of bullying, we've noticed a pattern where there's a more of a prevalence of incidents of Muslim children being bullied by educators. And my question ties into whether or not there are more resources available for parents and advocates in terms of helping them navigate the challenges of addressing situations where children are being bullied not by their peers but by figures of authority who really kind of set the standard for what bullying is and how to challenge it. Thank you.
No, we don't.
Yeah. I would just say, back to my my other point more broadly is that as we've been communicating more now with superintendents and getting feedback from them about what can they do to help prevent this, I really do think it is imperative that we continue to work with these state superintendents to make sure that they have the resources they need to trickle down to help prevent this. I would also add that I think it is very unfortunate that we have that situation where this is supposed to be a relationship of trust between a student and a teacher, and when that trust is violated by making them feel victimized by their teacher, it also impacts the likelihood of them reporting the instances of bullying. And I think that is also a broader problem where, as we know with hate crimes and being underreported, when this happens with teachers doing this to students, there is also underreporting as well.